From Chris Morales. Which visual novel has had the biggest impact on your life?
Okay. I can take this one easily.
Oh, easy.
Tennis Ace. Tennis Ace by far. The one I've done the longest, the one I'm still doing. Everybody just gets hooked on all my routes. Like, I remember the first big one for me, one of the first ones that really felt like a big breakthrough for me was like doing Shuichi's like romance scenes, like the one he's finally confessing and all this stuff, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is like the first one I saw, the first time I saw somebody read it, and it's like so emotional, and people just go all ham over it. And like I would end up getting similar things for like KSK or June. Even Haruki recently, people have just gone nuts. Even though a lot of people hate him, it's like I could see the whole reason, and just like it's just one of them. Not only for me, where I've loved the story just so much for my own sake, but just the reaction everybody else gets has been one that really has sunk in with me the most. Even if maybe it technically isn't the, I guess, quote unquote, most popular series that I've done or anything like that, it's just still one of the ones that's just, it feels like one of my pivotal series. One of the, what is it, cornerstone series of mine?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Adastra. And that's going to be, I know it's going to be a very hot topic when this video comes out. I'm going to say Adastra.
Okay.
Now for me, Adastra, it's not for like, ooh, sexy wolf character. Ooh.
It's Amicus Coon.
No, it's for, in all seriousness, I think it's well, at least the best example we have in furry visual novels, at least that I've played. Again, the ones that I've played and completed, that show that you can have a very epic story with a lot of, you can have a very epic story with, a lot of serious consequences or serious, effects for the main character, and have it still be a romance. Like I feel like I'm wording it poorly, and I'm trying to word it correctly. But like, for the most, to an extent, Dasher does have a big cast of characters, kind of, somewhat. But despite like all that, it's still a romance, and I think it does it a little more well than other stories. I mean, it's nice to see. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, it's nice to see a story that doesn't have to be one or the other. It tries to be both. Does it succeed in that? That's a question for other people to answer, not me. But it's kind of nice because sometimes you either get romances that feel like they're very close-minded, like they're very tight. You don't really get a lot of interaction with the other characters, or the setting where it takes place in, or etc. So Dasher for me. I feel like I'm going on and I'm not saying anything. But yeah, Dasher.
I totally understand you. I get you. Marshmallow Bears.
I think anyone that knows me knows the answer. It's God, it's gotta be Echo. God damn it. That game was, I had such a hyperfixation. Like, Adastra's what got me into furry visual novels, but like Echo was like my furry visual novel. Like, holy shit, I fell in love with the characters, and even though that story is just heart-wrenching, I love it. I have the Flynn docky because someone bought it for me. Like, God, it was the first one I streamed on my channel. Like, I debuted as a VTuber and immediately played Echo. That might have been a horrible decision, but it's my decision. That was the story I wanted to share with all of my friends and people that watched my videos. And when that final Jenna update hit, I felt incredibly sad that it was over. Like, it was just like, wow, the story's done, huh? I love that world. Yeah, it's got to be Echo.
Nice. Blaidd Llwyd.
I have to go with Fallen on this one, and definitely Adastra. There's a few reasons for it. One is that I started that just as getting towards the tail end of TJ's route and Echo. And I can't say for certain I would have kept going with all these because Adastra came out. I know, Viv, you did it like the afternoon and I recorded and put up in the evening of the same day.
Really?
Yeah, I know, because someone's already got it good. So anyway, just a side note there. Huh. And that really started pushing up the views and the subs. I actually hit 1,000 subs after I started Adastra. It was very small before I'll never hit 1,000. Then Adastra happened and people seemed to like it and kept going. So that's definitely had an influence on the channel there. Another reason is it actually started a friendship with someone in the fandom who I'm not going to name just because I don't want to drag someone else in or make it seem like I'm boasting about it. But we've had some interesting conversations ever since Adastra. And also Amicus, because he is such an easy character for me to play. Almost immediately, and I was reading his lines, okay, I know how this guy sounds. And that's exactly how I kept doing it. And I don't think about how Amicus is reacting when I see a line. I don't have to stop and think, okay, how would he do this line? I just do it. And it's odd because there's another character that I've played. So, of course, you all know Amicus. So he's like, the other character I just very easily get into character with is a 125-year-old blind seer who's a bear and it has a strange sense of humor. They're very different. I don't know what that says about me, actually. But just finding this character, 'cause I did all of Echo. I love Echo. No, there's no doubt about that, I think. But just, I never got into character as I did with Amicus, and that's why it still has a special place with me. Definitely. Adastra, yeah. If Howley hadn't done that, if Haps hadn't done all the work on the sprites, maybe I wouldn't be doing this now.
I was requested to say something to Miss VivianJade. It is about your Adastra video. So the whole reason I got into furry visual novels was and recording them and all this stuff was because my lovely partner watched your video for Adastra because she was too lazy to read it. And so you're the reason I'm here. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you. That's incredible. Well, thank you. Well, I appreciate you saying that, but I would as grateful as I am to say that, I would dare say that you would owe yourself a great deal more credit to any and all progress you have achieved and the success you have earned, because as much inspiration as you can take from any source, anything that you earn in this life comes from choices you make, and you're the only one that can make those choices. So you making your channel, you streaming as much as you do, the hard work you've put in, those are all choices you had to make. So whatever role I played in that, I am extremely grateful and proud to have been a part of it. But you earned it, my friend. You are the one to thank for those. And I'm proud of you for doing it.
Yeah, I like to give props where props are due, though.
Dang it, I was gonna say, I've already said it before. I've said that Vivian was Vivian, and Vivian was one of the first YouTuber, well, the furry visual novel YouTubers that I followed and that I enjoyed so much that actually inspired me to make my channel too. Because when I was doing it originally, I was like, oh, I really enjoy these. I thought about doing videos I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm like, nobody's gonna really want to watch these videos. I'm like, does anybody even do videos like that? And then I found about Vivian Jade channel, and I've mentioned it before, the Vivian Jade, and I think afterwards I found Dirk's channel, and then I found OK Cookie. Anyway, the point was, yeah. So like I found their channel, and then you inspired me. I was like, maybe I can do these, and then I started making these videos, and I really enjoyed doing them so much, and that's why I still make them, because like I really enjoyed what you do, and like in your earlier videos you come across as a little silly, a little silly. But you know what? I actually enjoyed it because it didn't feel like you were putting on a facade. It seemed like generally like that was you and that was your character. and that's one of the biggest things you have to do to keep me around as a viewer. Is if I feel like you're putting on a facade, then I don't want to watch you, even if you're trying to be funny. If you're generally just trying to crack jokes, even if they come across as corny, I know you're trying to be yourself, and that comes across a little better for me than, oh, what's popular with the fellow kids nowadays? Oh, this all right. We'll make some of these jokes over there. Swag, YOLO, you know?
Oh God.
So like I appreciate that you don't do that. You stick to what you enjoy. You have your opinions, whether people agree or disagree with them. You do have your opinions, and you do state them, and you make sure people know this is what I believe, and you don't have your opinion changed unless it's a general look into yourself and you decide your opinions.
Well, thank you. That really means a lot to me. I've always felt that the best way to be is true, and I've always tried to be that in any environment, and so I'm glad that has been apparent, even in my less digestible moments. But that's genuinely very, very sweet, and you got me crying in the club right now, guys. Jesus.
Well, that's like I could even bring that up with North, because like I follow like North. Like I didn't follow North till late. I didn't follow him till lately. Dang it! How did I find you? I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it was something you did with Dirk, but I remember I started following you, and I generally enjoyed your content because you come across as you take it very. It's like the like I know I just mentioned silliness, but you take it very seriously. I feel like you take it very professionally, and you have a very like method to your narration. You seem to take it very seriously, and that was encouraging too, because for somebody that's really adamant like me to get into voice acting, and to know that even despite the material that's presented in front of you, whether it's silly or not, you still try to take it seriously, and you see it as practice, or you see it as material to really work with. And I think that's a big thing, and I think that's a big been encouragement to me, because it shows that just because these stories are furry visual novels, just because people are like, oh, they're colorful dogs, so what kind of characterization can you make for these characters? It shows it doesn't matter what a character looks like. There can be a lot of characterization you can do with these characters. There's a lot of personality you can add to these characters that doesn't always have to be silly, goofy Mickey Mouse voices.
Oh, thanks.
I feel like I'm
encouraging you.
Like, yeah, no problem. I'm really glad, and like I said, I'm really glad to have met you. Like, I'm really glad that hopefully be considered a friend. I really enjoy your content, and I like watching your videos when I get the chance. And I really enjoy your content. You're a very big inspiration for me in regards to like the professionalism aspect of voice acting.
Well, I do count you as a friend, so have no concerns about that.
Thank you. But we're talking about people are probably like, are you guys gonna move on with the questions? So you can move on with the questions, Vivian. That was it.
Yeah. Wow, that was very nice. At the hour mark, we're just getting mushy.
It's the last one of these. We all gotta say our piece.
Yeah, we gotta end off. This is the crescendo.
Unfortunately, I can't say too much about Marshmallow because I don't really get to usually see your stuff. I don't really go on Twitch that much. That's the only reason why. But you seem really nice, and I know you're pretty new. The whole thing. Dirk's been great too. I think I started following Dirk. I was kind of snooping. I was doing some sneaking for his channel for a while after I started following Vivian. I think the first video I caught of Dirk's was after class years ago. Because I don't think you've touched after class in a while, or at least the ones I'm thinking about were long.
Unfortunately, but yeah, still a fun series.
I can attack Dirk too. Vivian got me into these things, but Dirk is the inspiration for me to actually stream them, because I was like,
oh shit,
you actually stream these things? And I was just like, it turns out when you search some of these visual novels, Dirk is one of the first people to come up. And I was just like, oh, this person does that. I can do this too.
When it comes to streams, absolutely. Dirk's usually like, I think the only one only one of us that does a lot of like consistent streaming. Like Vivian, I know you've done a few like your old videos. Like I know you've done a few streams. I've caught like, but like most part you do like like your stuff's pre-recorded and all that fun stuff.
I'm scared to stream visual novels anymore. I'm too scared to.
Yeah, no, I understand. I stopped doing. I started slowing down a little bit with most of them. I remember when I tried to do extracurricular activities and I got there wasn't and it was I was like, what? It was like, oh, YouTube, the bots have taken down your stream, and I'm like, for what? And I'm like, for literally they were in the locker room changing, and they took it down.
Mm-hmm.
Crap like that. But yeah, thanks, guys.
Oh.
Yeah, I think probably I saw Dirk's first video.
No.
I know it was very earlier on because you commented on one of mine and said, I should check this guy out. Yeah. Oh, great. He's good. I'll start subscribing and following him.
Yeah, I think it was something similar with you where I'm like, why aren't more people looking at you? You're everything's like so great about you. Oh my gosh.
Adastra for me. I think it was Adastra. But it was ironic though. I was following. I think I was following another person who was playing Adastra, and they stopped because they just stopped making videos for it. And then I think like one of the like random like recommendeds was you, and then I was like, oh well, how far has this person got? And it was like the whole series up to that point because I've been following visual novels for a long time. It was up to that point. I was like, well, this person's still doing it. And then I started watching your videos. Then I watched your older stuff. I watched your older Echo videos, old Echo videos, Night in the Woods, etc. But yeah.
Oh, you're the one who watches Night in the Woods. Oh, good to know.
Well, I mean, a certain someone here has been playing it recently.
It's good. I would really recommend that. It's
very good shooting. Yeah,
I mean,
it's a great game. One of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, Marsh was kind of how I got into Twitch streaming because I'm like, maybe I should do multiple platforms, and just found that. I was like, oh, a whole VN friend. Yes, there we go. There's the full pat on the back for everybody. Everyone gets a little treat, but all genuine though. Seriously, y'all are great.
So the visual novel that's had the biggest impact on my life.
Oh, there was a question. There
was a question. Sorry, man.
I was debating between Echo and extracurricular activities for this one because I feel like Echo gave me the greater appreciation for getting into the excitement of the visual novel and like the upcoming lore and the deeper worlds and everything like that. But from extracurricular activities, despite the fact that my excitement for it has waned and grew and waned and grew and waned, it goes in and out, and I haven't played it regularly in a long time. Updates are very sparse on my channel, and I'm aware of that, but it was one of the very first ones. It's the longest running series on my channel, so it has that backbone factor that Dirk talked about with his choice of Tennis Ace, but also it was one of the very first ones, just like Dirk mentioned, but as well, I've learned a lot of things about how I interact with this medium and with the way I need to approach life in the way that I have approached playing this game. And it's weird the amount of life lessons I've come away with by how I've played this game. Like when I was trying to stream this game all the time because it was what I wanted to do to please the fans, I was doing it instead of playing it because I wanted to. Well, I started to resent the game, but I realized I still liked the game, but I was resenting how I was doing it. I learned very quickly that you can ruin good things by doing the thing wrong. I learned in general to appreciate things that on the surface can seem silly if you do not appreciate them or give them the time to prove themselves. Because when I first approached extracurricular activities, I had never seen anything that looked like that. And it was with the old art style. And I was not familiar with furry art almost at all. And so I was looking at that and I was like, I was coming off of Amorous and I was looking at it like, there is no way this is anything other than some more porn with a plot kind of fantasy fulfillment. And then it hit me with some feels and some plot and some story. And I was like, what the fuck? And so it just kept hitting me with all of these things I was learning, and I'm learning about all this stuff. And then more recommendations came in of other stories that I came to love and appreciate because of this game. And so I have a lot more to credit extracurricular activities with, in addition to enjoying the game itself. It's not my favorite visual novel. It's not the one I want to play the most often, but it is definitely the one that has given the biggest impact to my life out of all the ones I've played.